The Commanders squeaked by the Eagles 36-33 despite committing 5 turnovers. Very close game, but it was a divisional game. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about today's win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Next on Washington Football Maniacs. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again, and definitely appreciate you guys tuning in today following today's really good victory over our divisional rivals, the Eagles. I'm gonna go ahead and recap today's win, and then me and Greg tomorrow are gonna do another video where he's gonna kind of have his take over today's win. But man, oh man, what a divisional game! Commanders squeaked by the Philadelphia Eagles 36-33, despite committing 5 turnovers. So I got 4 game balls we're gonna get into. We're gonna look at the good, the bad, and the ugly from today's victory. So let's take a look at the good. And the good is the game balls. So we got 4 game balls we're going to hand out today. Let's get into it. Number 1, Jaden Daniels. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Brandon, he threw 2 picks. Well, he also threw 5 touchdowns and had a 99.1 quarterback rating. And the reason I say that, yes, he threw 2 picks. One was an overthrow, clearly on Jaden Daniels. But here's the thing. The best of the best, not your average, but your best of the best, they perform in the clutch. And that last touchdown throw he made, wow. I mean, that was a heck of a throw in the clutch. We needed it in the nick of time. They get a much needed victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, they're probably still going to win the division, but we are 1 win away from being a playoff team. And we actually hurt their chances of being a number 1 seed. So there were some consequences from the Eagles losing the game today. And I already heard it from Eagles fans. Oh, Jalen Hurts got hurt. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't care. We got the win because Jaden Daniels, he performed when he needed to. 5 touchdown throws today. Yes, 2 picks, but he is also a rookie quarterback. And like I said, he is definitely my favorite, the leading guy, in my opinion, for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bo Nix is having a good year. You can't take that away from him. But what Jaden Daniels has been able to do in the clutch, getting that Hail Mary, I get it as a Hail Mary. All you got to do is throw it up there. There's a lot of other factors, but his savviness, his head on and off the court, off the field. I mean, he has shown a lot more mature than his age. He is coming here, very, very, even-minded, in my opinion. He's clear-headed, the leader, cool under pressure, and it's shown 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But it wasn't just throwing the ball where he shined. 9 carries for 81 yards because we did have our issues today running the ball. But it was not Jaden Daniels. His longest rush was 29 yards. So he had 9 carries for 81 yards. Definitely extending plays, keeping busy with his legs, man. So, again, that was a leadership day for Jaden Daniels. He took the team under his wing and performed. Now, there's other people that look good today. And obviously, we had our ugly moments, but we're going to save that for the ugly or the bad and the ugly, right? So, game ball number 2 goes to Zacchaeus. 5 receptions for 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did his thing today. 8 targets. 5 receptions, 70 yards. And then his longest was a 49-yard touchdown. It's his second touchdown of the day. We know that Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin have that nice connection, but Zacchaeus is, he's definitely stepping up as of late. Really good game today. 5 receptions for 70 yards for 2 touchdowns. But it's actually a co-ball. So we're giving away 3 game balls, not 4, 3. And 2 of them are going to be co because the reason I said co, Terry McLaurin. 5 receptions for 60 yards, 1 touchdown. So Zacchaeus and Terry McLaurin had a really good day at wide receiver. Now, De'Ami Brown did get 4 receptions for 56 yards, so he had a very productive day also, but he had a fumble, which was, so that definitely takes away from sharing that game ball. So game ball number 2 goes to 2 receivers, Zacchaeus and Terry McLaurin. Both of them had really good days against the Eagles. Game ball number 3 also will be shared, and it's Johnny Newton and Frankie Louvu. Johnny Newton appears he could very well be a replacement for Jonathan Allen or Deron Payne. He has played really good football this season for the Washington Commanders. And yes, a lot of people were kind of inquisitive why they made that draft selection. Now you kind of see why they did. They got a starting caliber guy and with a second round pick. The guy, I think I think the writing's on the wall for Jonathan Allen. I think you have to shop him and trade him in the offseason. Deron Payne, we'll see. But I think you definitely found a starter. You found a long-term piece and Johnny Newton because, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss. Very active guy who not only helps stop the run, very active in getting after the quarterback. So, like I said, very good day from Johnny Newton. 5 tackles, 1 assisted tackle, 1 sack, and 3 tackles for loss. Frankie Louvu, again, a name that we've been really talking about all year long, right? 3 tackles a day, four of them, four assisted tackles, but one interception, 2 tackles for loss. I mean, he did it all. I mean, he's been a dog at linebacker. He's been a guy who is not only very active in attacking the quarterback, man, but very active in coverage. A guy who's just been an overall dog at linebacker. Somebody we need. He's a guy. He's a keeper. You keep him around for a while. I mean, he's been outside of Bobby Wagner. He's been the clear leader on the defense, in my opinion. I mean, him and Bobby Wagner have been a couple of really good leaders at the linebacker position because, since London Fletcher, we have not found that one very dominant linebacker. And I think we have two. Bobby Wagner is a lot older than Luvu and doesn't have, he's not going to be here as long as Luvu, but I think Luvu's a keeper. You keep him around for a while because his energy, his dog factor. I mean, he's a dog on defense, man. He's a guy who, again, can get in the coverage and definitely be very active, but he's a guy who can attack, be very active in the run stop. I mean, he's a guy who continues to play high level defense. So they are going to share the third game ball for the night. So to kind of reiterate, first game ball goes to Jaden Daniels. The second one goes to shared by Zacchaeus and Terry McLaurin. And the third is going to be shared also between Johnny Newton and Frankie Luvu. So with the good comes the bad. What was the bad? I'm going to say the pass interference calls on Marshawn Lattimore. Now, I'm going to say one was not on him. I'm going to say that. No, the one, A.J. Brown was obviously hold on to him. Now, the other calls, yeah. I mean, that was on Marshawn Lattimore. And I get it. He definitely wants to play very physical with a receiver like A.J. Brown. So I'm not too mad. Now, did penalties hurt us? Absolutely. I mean, penalties destroyed us today. But, the one pass interference, I'm saying right now, was not on him. It was not on him, in my opinion. See if we can pull up the team stats for turnovers. Yeah, of course they won't give it to us. Or not turnovers, penalties. Yep, they won't show it. I'm on Athletics. So, like I said, Marshawn Lattimore, not on him. I think that one was not on him. Oh, let me back that up a little bit. The other calls, yeah. So I'm gonna say that's bad. We know that Marshawn Lattimore is definitely that number one corner. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler for a reason. He's that guy. So I'm not gonna get in, criticize too heavy. Yeah, those calls are on him. I think the one wasn't the one where you clearly see AJ Brown holding on to him. I think, and here's the thing: the ref was looking right at him. So I don't know what the ref was doing. I don't know if he's looking at a cloud. I don't know if he was playing pocket. I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to pay attention because that one call was clearly on AJ Brown, and he was holding on to Marshawn Lattimore. But I don't think there's gonna be a problem going forward. Like I said, we're gonna make it, definitely the bad for the day. But Marshawn Lattimore, I definitely think he's gonna be all right going forward because he's a Pro Bowler for a reason. He's the number one corner for a reason. I think that once we add another corner and we add a corner to him and Mike Samstill, man, we're gonna have a really good cornerback room. So, and we're gonna have a really nice secondary in the nation's cap. So, all right, the ugly. What is the ugly? And obviously, the turnovers was the ugly from today's victory. Very, very rarely do you win a football game, any sports game at that, committing 5 turnovers. Now, basketball, you can kind of get away with 5 turnovers, but in football, come on now. 5 turnovers, most of the time, probably 99% of the time, you lose that game. But it was hard. Yes, it was a very ugly game. 5 turnovers. I mean, looking at Brian Robinson, he knows better than that. I mean, B. Rob, not his best day. 10 carries for 24 yards. Obviously, 2 fumbles. They told him to have a seat. But he knows better than that. 2 fumbles, both of them for loss. Brian Robinson Jr. is better than that. I'm a big fan of Brian Robinson Jr. Is he the long-term answer running back? We'll see. But he's been a consistent answer at running back. We can say that. He is responded to the call for help at running back. And he's done well. A bruiser, man. So today, those 2 turnovers obviously on him. He's got to figure that out. 2 turnovers. I mean, 2 fumbles and you lose both of them. I mean, people got on Antonio Gibson for the same reason. Antonio Gibson was notorious for fumbling the ball all the time. And it was for that very reason why Antonio Gibson is now in New England and Brian Robinson Jr. is the lead back here in DC. I mean, you got to work on the fumbles, man. Like I said, Brian Robinson Jr. knows better than that. He's better than that. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. One, the only one, De'Ami Brown, another fumble today. Overall, I don't know if Dan Quinn needs to go back old school like we did in high school, and have a few people go around with a ball in their arm and see if you can punch it out. But you just don't. Fumbles are just, you got to hold on to the ball, man. I mean, we gave the Eagles every chance to win this game. And we committed every sin there is to lose this game. I mean, as far as football, I ain't trying to get all deep now, but as far as losing a football game, we did everything we could to lose this game. The 5 turnovers, the lack of discipline. I mean, I forget. I'm trying to think who was it, but there was a chance where we almost got a penalty for hitting a quarterback on the slide. And I get it, guys. Looking at that whole debate, tackler versus sliding quarterback. There are some quarterbacks in the NFL that take advantage of a fake slide. I get that, but looking at it today, I think it was Igabagani. I think that's how you pronounce it. I believe it was him. You guys get in the comment section, leave me, and correct me if I'm wrong. But he looked like he was about to hit Kenny Pickett, and he's sliding. He's like, "Come on, man, we've got to get better with these dumb penalties." I mean, penalties always hit us every single game. So like I said, the ugliest to me is more so the turnovers, 5 turnovers. Most of the time, you don't win that game. I mean, so it was sheer heart. And I think a lot of that heart was Jaden Daniels. He knew that, you see it on his face, the 2 interceptions, you get it. You definitely, he's a guy who smiles a lot, and you want to see that from a young quarterback. Definitely be that happy-go-lucky guy, stay positive. But you didn't see that. He took it personal when he threw those 2 picks. That's what you want to see. You want to see a guy who takes it personal. He wants to go out there and he capitalized. The last touchdown was on the money, and that was clutch performance to win this game, because this is a good win. Not only did we deny the number 1 seed to the Philadelphia Eagles, we are a game away from being a playoff team. A lot of people had this as a 5 to 6 win team. I personally had it as a 10 to 11 win team. So like I said, I think we are a playoff team if we beat the Falcons or the Cowboys. Because and better yet, not only is beating the Pigeons, the Eagles, not only is beating the Eagles the best part of the day, we also knocked the Dallas Cowboys out of the playoffs. So look, it was a win-win day for the Commanders today, baby. So like I said, we knocked the Cowboys out of the playoffs. So like typical Cowboys, I mean, even when the Cowboys do make it to the playoffs, they usually don't make it past the wild card. So they're used to watching the playoffs from the house. But Philadelphia, they are going to be a playoff team, and all roads go through Detroit and Philadelphia. But it is very, very good anytime you can beat the Cowboys or the Eagles. You can say the Giants, but the Giants have been a dumpster fire for a couple of years now. So, you know, so looking at the Eagles, Cowboys, you win those games. You got to win those games. If you want to be a serious contender in this league, you got to beat your in-division foes in the Eagles and the Cowboys. So I look forward to a good matchup in the last week of the year. Now, do we sit our starters is a good question. Now, you best believe the Cowboys are going to be wanting to win the game, but we're going to talk about that when we do a preview for the Dallas Cowboys game. And of course, this week coming up, me and Greg are going to do a proper preview for the Falcons game for next Sunday. But today was a good victory, guys. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and roll. But like I said, good victory today. The Commanders squeaked by the Philadelphia Eagles 36-33, despite committing 5 turnovers. The 5-game ball, or 5. Well, I guess, I mean, let's be real, man. Let's make it 5-game balls, all right? We're going to ask them to share. All 5 players, they shine today. And 5-game balls went to Jaden Daniels, Zacchaeus, Terry McLaurin, Frankie Louvu, and Johnny Newton. They all earned those balls, man. Like I said, they definitely earned those accolades, because Johnny Newton, I'm telling you, could be the next starter at defensive tackle. And I think that the writing's on the wall for Jonathan Allen, in my humble opinion. I know he's hurt, and and I know there's a big reason why he hasn't been available. And I'm a big fan of Jonathan Allen. Went to the same high school. But here's the thing, man. With the price tag with him and Deron Payne, you've got to capitalize. You have got to produce. And you see that production for Johnny Newton. You have not seen that production on a consistent basis from Deron Payne. And, Jonathan Allen, before he went down with injury, you didn't see that production. So, look, they're going to make moves. Adam Peters is going to put his footnote on this roster. So, like I said, it is now the Adam Peters regime. So, definitely look for changes going forward in the offseason. But this is a playoff team, guys. So, we are 1 win away. So, we have the Falcons and the Cowboys left on the schedule. So, all right, everybody, we're going to call it a night. Get in the comment section. Let me know, do you agree? Do you disagree with the game balls? And what other factors do you think led to this victory today? Because turnovers ain't one of those factors. So, like I said, good game today, but it came down to heart. And that is what you want to see from a franchise quarterback. So we've got one in Jaden Daniels. Everybody have a blessed night, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. Hail to the Commanders, and peace. Everybody have a blessed night.